The other day, I think Monday, we were discussing there is silence and there is sweet silence, then there is deep silence and there is dead silence. And last Thursday also, we discussed about silence and how when we listen to silence, we are in that realm which is beyond time, beyond space. Silence as the core of our being. So today, let us experience sweet silence. So why is the word sweet used before silence? What do you think? Why does Papa say sweet silence? What is the importance of the word sweet? Or the relevance of the word sweet before silence?
Is it because when we experience all the relationship with Baba, we feel Anand like Atindriya Sukh during that time? Sweetness of all the relationship.
Right, very nice. It's like the word sweet. Generally, yes, any other thoughts? Yeah.
It keeps our intellect pulled towards Baba. Like we don't like to come back to this 3D world.
Very nice. Right. Generally, we use the word sweet as something which is very pleasant, delightful, and generally we will say, the word sweet, we'll say home, sweet home. We use the word sweet in that way. It's like home feels very sweet, very pleasant. We want to be there in our home. The same with the word sweet here is when the soul feels completely loved in the presence of God. So one silence is when the mind is silent. The mind is no longer thinking about or being pulled towards the story. That is one silence. And that is the beginning when we consider ourselves as a spiritual being. So I'm a point of light. And so my story is the eternal story. I live in my home of light. I come down here to play my part. So with this realization, automatically, any pull towards the drama or the story, fades away. So that is the first step of silence. And then the second is when the soul begins to feel the presence of God. And in that experience, it's when the soul feels that that love, being loved by Baba, and being loving towards God. And so that experience is just holds the soul there in silence. It's a very sweet feeling. So in the first step of silence, there are very few thoughts. The thoughts slow down. And in the sweet silence, thoughts convert into feelings. So I begin to feel God's presence. And that feeling is very sweet. Just like when we eat something sweet, a chocolate or something sweet, we'll say, oh, it feels so good, like ice cream. So the same with this feeling of being wrapped up in God's presence is so sweet. We just want to stay there, stay like that. It's like a child in the lap of his mother. Child just wants to rest there. The child is comforted in the presence of his mother. In the same way, it's like the soul is comforted in the presence of God. And there is no more thoughts that need to come at that time. It's just that feeling of belonging, of just being held in that beautiful, comforting presence of God. That is, the soul experiences sweet silence, just filled with that love. And we just want to stay there. And in that experience, there's nothing else that matters. And in that silence, it's as if the soul is just at the level of feeling a very real presence of Baba. It's just like I'm talking to someone and I'm communicating with them, exchanging my energy. The same way the feeling is of just exchanging that pure energy with Baba. And the dharana to experience that sweetness is when Baba feels, when and that's why when we say purity and purity of thoughts and feelings and good wishes, all of these come into play here. So if I have a completely clean heart, good wishes, pure feelings towards everyone, then the heart experiences that belonging to God. Otherwise, I may have a lot of knowledge, I may churn knowledge, everything, but to experience that sweet silence that actually heals the soul, that needs this deep dharana of just seeing everyone as a soul, just thinking good about everyone, about myself, because that's what is God's frequency. And so in that, I begin to experience that proximity to the soul. It's like Baba is reaching out and the soul feels that love, being loved, and that sweetness is felt. And once I have tasted the sweetness, then that sweetness pulls the mind. Just like if I eat something sweet, then that taste pulls. I want to eat it again. And so in the same way, the sweetness will pull me to just experience Baba more and more, more and more. And so then the mind feels addicted to Baba because this sweetness is so beautiful. It tastes so good, feels so good. Just want to be there. And then there's no effort needed at that level then to remember Baba. But it becomes like the soul is pulled. Soul wants to just be in that presence. Sweet silence. And that's where I also felt that even in my own spiritual journey, the moments, especially that we have in Baba's room or collective meditation, or even in Madhuban or Peace Village or Baba's homes, wherever, or even on my own, or But it's so important to cherish those moments, because those moments are of when there was no effort as such, but just that pure feeling of that presence of God. And then meditation becomes a very natural experience. There's no effort needed. But my mind will run to Baba. It's like when I experience the sweetness of silence, and the mind runs to experience that sweetness again and again. Like this morning, we were hearing unadulterated remembrance of Vichariya. It's like then the mind is pulled towards that. The mind wants to just stay there naturally. And that's why every day it's like when we hear God's versions, it's like it's good to churn and remember the points, but then it's also important to feel. So when we hear long lost and now found, just feel that God is talking to me, giving me that feeling. When we hear blessing, it's just that blessing, the feeling of it. And so sweet silence is linked with that feeling. The more I feel Baba, and Baba's personality is accessible through the Murli. And so the more I look at Murli as a love letter from God, it's just a love letter for me, not for anyone else, just for me. And I just cherish every single word and sentence that is shared for me with so much love. And so when the soul experiences that love, it just is overwhelmed with silence. And then any critical thinking or any thoughts of judgment or anything related to the drama just automatically fade away. And so then meditation becomes a very real, beautiful experience of just belonging to Baba and just absorbing that feeling. So let us just experiment for a few minutes. As we sit comfortably relaxed, we just become aware of ourselves as this divine being, eternal star, who lives in the sky, has come down, incarnated into this physical costume. I realize that I am an actor in this drama of life. Every scene is a part of the script. I just see every scene as I act, interact in the play of life. I realize that I belong to a higher dimension. A dimension beyond the story, where I feel very naturally to be a star above the earth, in the sky, beyond the sky, a tiny star. This is who I am, a sparkling star of peace. I become aware of my family of stars. This is our home of light. Where all I experience is this beautiful golden light all around me. I, the star, suspended in silence. There is no name, there is no role, there is nothing to do here. I've just locked myself up in my home, sweet home. I don't need anything of the drama. In the silence, I am myself. And as the silence becomes deeper, I begin to realize that there is someone who knows me completely. There is someone who cares for me. There is someone who talks to me without the role, just to me. There is someone who is so benevolent. He only knows how to unconditionally love and accept. I have an eternal relationship with that someone. For a long, long time during my journey on the earth, I had been yearning to experience this presence, this love. And now, in this moment, I experience that someone coming towards me. I experience that loving presence. That presence opens up my heart. I know that in this presence, I'm not judged. I'm being accepted and being loved for who I am. That someone is the most beautiful being that ever could be. People call him God, but for me, that someone is my eternal companion. I, the soul, feel being loved by the divine. Loved unconditionally. I feel being wrapped up in this cocoon of God's love. All I see is my dearest eternal companion. My mind rests on the divine. There's nothing else that matters. This experience is the highest. In this cocoon of God's love, I experience sweet silence. I surrender my mind to the One. There's no other thought. I'm being pulled closer and closer to this most precious being. I'm healed in this silence, in this cocoon, stillness of God's love. The mind doesn't desire anything else. Having tasted the sweetness of this love, the sweet silence takes me beyond. There's no tiredness. As the soul is completely refreshed. I experience having a very clean, pure heart that is loved by God. And just like God knows only how to love, this heart knows only how to love. I'm held in the sweetness of the silence, of being embraced by Baba. silence takes me beyond completely. I become alive to this higher dimension in a very natural way. My life as a being of light, living with Papa, God, and my eternal family is normal for me. The whole world seems like a story. My normal life is this, living here in this sweetness of silence. I'm automatically held in the stage beyond the story. Bodiless, just a tiny star. Combined with the divine. As I return into the story, I can feel the sweetness of the silence. And these vibrations I share through my role. Om Shanti. Shanti. Thank you. feel free to share any thoughts, anything you would like to add.
Shanti, thank you, Sarabhai. Beautiful experience. I was able to do from the beginning. Now I will start driving from the work. It's
Oh,
beautiful
okay.
experience, and really liked. Without the music, it's really felt the silence. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Shanti.
Drive safe. Yeah.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, Vinapet.
I was just thinking, how the salt and the sugar, it start with the S also, and how they melt. Anything you put inside, it lose his thing, and it became give the taste to that particular item, whatever it is. If you put it into the milk or the sweet dish or anything, same thing, we need to melt ourselves to see the Baba and, go inside and go deeper with the Baba. I was thinking about the sweet is like see the wheels of the energy to energy transformation. And I was also looking the silence as in stop inside and listen, own energy, not created ego. Om Shanti.
Very nice. Thank you, Vinapet. Yeah, if you can share that, that'll be great. Stop inside. Listen. Energy, not creating ego. Beautiful. Any other thoughts, inspirations?
Om Shanti.
Shanti.
It was a beautiful experience. I just felt, I don't know, maybe the past week or two, I just felt my heart just being warm and just expanding, really. And this was what's the first thing that ever happened to me this time, though. Like the first 10 minutes of it, I'm coughing my head off, but part of it is like I just saw Baba coming toward me with his arms open. And then when you mentioned Supreme Soul, then I was just, like on a visual when someone's like going, through outer space, like you're moving the clouds, you're going through the clouds and this, the sky, the space. It was just like I was moving toward Paramdam, really. And then when I got there, just being like in this real warm, soft, gentle, loving place. And this my heart, but never, this is kind of never in my head. I was not in my head the whole time. I was in my heart. I had this visual, I had the vision, but I wasn't using my intellect, which is new for me to be able to be that long with not being in the intellect and then coming in and out of the body and then back into the soul. And then while I was there for a while, then I just kind of just started reaching out and sending that love around the world to everyone. It's just beautiful. And my heart is still so warm. I've really been practicing on going there in 1 second, you know, and I didn't realize that I have been going there in 1 second because I can close my eyes and in 1 second I connect and then I feel my heart just get real warm. And I've never felt that except for when I connected with my son the first time in 2018. Well, actually before then, but that love. And then, so it's just divine love. It's beautiful. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Thank you, Mr. Joy. You described so beautifully your experiences. Very nice. It's like that feeling of warmth in the heart that begins to open up. Baba enters. Like I said, Baba coming with open arms.
And he just had this look on in his eyes like, come here, child. Everything's all right. I know what you've been through. Let me hold you.
Thank you for sharing that. Nice. Any other inspirations?
So I wanted to add my like I just started like creating a little creativity during meditation. So when I'm experiencing like love from Baba, I see the green color, and then I change, and I also see the color change in the soul. I see the color change over myself. And for example, power, then I see myself becoming red. So that is just I started doing that. I feel it's like little creative.
Beautiful.
Just wanted to share. Thank you.
Very nice. Thank you. Just maybe listen to a song and experience that love of God.
There is no because in God's love. He doesn't love us because we're good or kind or thoughtful. He doesn't love us because we are pure or noble or fine, fine, fine. These qualities are ours to have, part of our journey, part of our learning. When we say the love of one is unlimited and eternal, it means that the love of God is unconditional. It is always there. One is, He is the essence of love. And whether we are flawed or almost perfect, the first act of God is love. And it is eternal. There's only one. My only thought is to be with the one, to open my eyes to see the one, for my heart to feel the love of one, to hear the voice of truth. There is only one, only the love of one, unlimited and eternal is the love of one. There is only one, only the love of one. So don't forget to be a part of the dance of love. There's only love. My only thought is to be in this love, to open my heart to feel the love, for my eyes to see the love of one, to hear the voice of truth. There is only one, only the love of one, unlimited and eternal is the love of one. So don't forget to be a part of the dance of love.